Three 1970 Mustangs, three different legends, built for three different purposes. But which one's the best? Which one's better day to day? Which one's better to live with, better to drive, better to work on? Let's find out. Gasket Cases Garage, 1970 Mustang Showdown. Let's meet the contestants. The Restomod, it's no slouch. It's got some upgrades. It's got a fair shot. It's got a built motor, 6-speed transmission, disc brakes all around, coilovers, Mustang 2 suspension. It's pretty set up. Next up is the Mach 1. This was Ford's factory muscle car. Although it had the 351 Cleveland, that went toe-to-toe with a lot of the 428s. This gave you a lot of performance, and it had some luxury upgrades. Lastly, the Boss 302. Ford's track weapon for the Trans Am Racing Homologation Special. Arguably the best street racer that's ever been built. But the absolute best Mustang might not be what you expect. The Restomod stands out with its lowered stance and aftermarket wheels. The Mach 1 adds a little bit of muscle car drama with its stripes, that iconic shaper, and to top it off, those Twister Special graphics. And the Boss 302. Subtle, aggressive, racing stripes. Spoiler alert, it's a serious track weapon. Inside, the Restomod feels modern, upgraded gauges, more comfort. The Mach 1 mixes sporty trim with muscle car flair. And the Boss 302 strips it down, in most cases, maybe not in this one, to no frills. It's mostly just focused on performance. On paper, these three are an interesting matchup. The Restomod was born as a 220 horsepower 302 two-barrel. In its current form, it's probably 400 to 500 horsepower with a 6-speed, 456 gears. I tried to build it for reliability and drivability, but let's be honest, I overbuilt it. The Mach 1. From the factory, the Mach 1 came with choices. A 351 Cleveland rated at 300 horsepower or the legendary 428 Cobra Jet with 335. This one's running the 351 Cleveland, putting it right in the sweet spot. Classic muscle car power without the rarity tax or the leaks from the FE rear main seal. Boss 302, Ford rated the Boss at 290 horsepower to appease insurance companies, but the real number was closer to 320, maybe 330. Add a close ratio 4-speed top loader, and you've got a car that only comes alive when you push it hard. It's also got the scoop and a lot of other options that were Mach 1 specific, but it's all racing pedigree. The thing about the Boss 302, everything's under the hood. I love this car. I built everything about it. I built it the way I wanted it. I think I spent a lot more time porting and polishing, building this motor right. There's something about this that feels like a modern hot rod. Yeah, I overbuilt it. There's just something childish in me that says, how much can a 351 take? Build it as good as you can build it. But it does feels like a hot rod. It's everything a hot rod should be. It's got Windsor reliability and Cleveland lungs. You can throw it in a turn. Look after you. Oops. Ported and polished the intake, the exhaust. Mustang 2 suspension was a big deal. That was a big upgrade. But it paid dividends. It's a lot of work, but it's worth it. Best part about this Mach 1 is that it just feels like a muscle car. It's smooth. It doesn't hesitate on you. It's a pretty easy drive. Gotta watch out for Officer Lafferty. I love these Clevelands. You know, it's a little bit luxurious for the 70s anyway. It's just a real treat. This one is just Twister Special. It's one of the rarest Mustangs ever. A lot of people that have these tuck them away. Not me. Drive it, enjoy it. What else is there? These things just open up and breathe, and then they start making power. I think one of the most ironic things about this car it's actually really simple to work on. You got plenty of room to get your hands in and work on that little 302. Finding parts sucks. I'm trying to get this one as back to original as I can get it. I'm on a waiting list at National Parts Depot for an alternator that's got all the correct information for this car. It feels like a race car. There's something about that feeling, that race car feeling. When folks do those Restomods, this is more or less what they're chasing. This kind of handling. How it's poised and agile. Yeah, you're going to need some suspension upgrades if you want to do that with the big block. This thing's fun to drive. Everyone loves them. Take it to a Cars and Coffee or Good Guys. The Cleveland is hard to work on. You can barely get your giblets in there. It's a real knuckle buster to just get your hands in there next to the valve covers. Changing spark plugs takes a long time. So after that, the best Mustang, the best overall, the best to live with, the best to work on. The best daily driver is this Restomod, hands down. It's comfortable, it's classic, but it's got all the modern upgrades that you would want. The Mach 1, it's just a classic muscle car. When you want to feel that muscle car vibe, that's what you should reach for. Boss 302, most collectible, but what if we could blend all of these into one? Stay with me. So after all that, what is the perfect Mustang? I don't believe Ford's ever given us the perfect Mustang, but I think it's given us everything we need to get there. What if you want the 4-bolt main from the 302, the cubic inches from the Cleveland, a few extra gears from the Restomod? Maybe you don't need 456 or 430 gears. A little bit more than 350, maybe the 391s or the 411s. This is a Boss 351 4-bolt main Cleveland block, standard bore. Stronger than the Boss 302, nastier than the Cleveland, rarer than both of them. This would be the perfect Mustang. And on Gasket Case Garage, we're going to build the Mustang that Ford never gave us. So subscribe. Getting all the parts might be a hat trick. Finding this block was no easy feat. But to come up with heads and all the rest of the goods, I think we're up for the challenge. Subscribe and come along.
So a quick wrap up on this one, and I would have got this out yesterday, but I think Officer Lafferty was hanging around the area. And I've been thinking a lot about that 351 Boss 351 69 or 70 Boss 351 build. And this one might take some of your help. If you, ideally, I'd like it to be an M code, R code, G code, S code, maybe Q code. There might be a code in there that I've forgotten, or one in there that I probably shouldn't have put in there. Um, but we might need some help on this one. So if you've got any parts, or you have any leads on anything that could be appropriate for this build, Cleveland closed chambered heads, and I'm not saying any of this has to be new old stock or anything like that. But if you come across anything that might be good for this build, or have any ideas on how this build should go, throw them in the comments, and let me know. You could email gasketcasegarage25@gmail.com if you have anything, or know anybody that has anything, or have any leads on anything like that. Let me know. Just email it to me. We'll figure it out. Give you a shout out, whatever, on the channel, on the videos. Um, Thankful to everyone that's subscribed, watching, checking it out, having a lot of fun. Thanks a lot.